An alternative to the histogram is the frequency polygon. So if we wanted to create a frequency polygon for weights, for instance, in StatCrunch I first need to create the frequency table and then just create the line graph from the table. So let's see how we can do that with weights. Okay, we're first going to go to Stat, Tables, and Frequency. And we'll choose Weight. If you wanted to create a cumulative frequency, you can select that as well. I'm just going to create the frequency, relative frequency. And I'm going to store this as a table because I'm going to actually want to use this data to create a graph. If I just wanted to see the frequency, take a snapshot of it and put it into a document, I wouldn't need to do that. Now notice here it says, whoa, lots of unique numerical values for weight. Want to turn on binning for this procedure? We do. So press OK. And there we go. So I do have two columns labeled weight now, so let me just go in here and change this to weight and put this as the bin, just so we can recognize that in my list. Now let's go ahead and create the graph. So we're going to go to Graph, Chart, and Columns. So I'm going to graph the frequency, this column here, and row labels are going to be in the weight bin, right? I just have one graph, so I'm going to go ahead and press Compute. Actually, let me change my horizontal bar plot. I want to do points with connected lines for my frequency polygon and press Compute. And there we go. So there's from 150 to 200, and we can hover over our mouse over this. It tells us it's 510. Again, we can adjust any of those values. For instance, on the y-axis, maybe I want that to go up a little bit more, just so I can see what those values are. There we go. Now notice that it selected the bin width to be at 50, from 150 to 200, 200 to 250, etc. If I wanted different bin widths, what do? I actually have to manually bin the data, so I go to Data and Bin. I select my column of weight. Rather than automatically defining the bin widths, I'm going to use a fixed bin widths. So maybe I want to start this, and I have to sort of know my data, right? So 150 appears to be the lowest, so let's start this at 150 and have a bin width. Maybe I want the bin width to be half of that and say 25 instead of 50. If there were certain cut points that I needed, I would put those here separated by a comma. Okay, so here's my bin weight over here. And so maybe call this bin weight 25, just so I know I can differentiate that between that one. So after I do the bin width, the bin weight of 25, now I need to create the table, the frequency table. So go to Tables and Frequency. I'm going to select my bin weight 25. I'm just going to do the frequency and relative frequency just like I did when it automatically did it at 50 for me. And I need to remember to store it as a table. And it'll just get appended right here in variables 17, 18, and 19, I think. And so notice I have twice as many bins here as I did when I had a bin width of 50. And let's go ahead and go to Graph, Chart, Columns. And now I'm going to do the second frequency. These are in the order, so that if that helps. Frequency here is this frequency. And row labels are in the, it's getting a little confusing with my labels, isn't it? I've got two bin weight 25s, right? So it's this second one, bin weight 25. That gets confusing. I probably want to relabel that and select points with connected lines. So I hope that helps.